some new buttons in the visual editor, and I'm going to run through those quick and show you what they are and how they work. So I'm just going to come in here and add a new page, and you can see when I switch to the visual mode, the flex squeeze buttons show up here, and basically what these do is they replace a lot of the short codes that are still available in the theme. You just don't need to use them. And some other themes have buttons similar to these, but I didn't like the way that they just inserted the short code. And so the way these work is they insert the full code, and you can actually view it visually within the editor as you create your page. Now I'm going to make my browser a little bit wider so you can see this. Well, first let me do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to apply a sales page to this page, and I'm going to save a draft. And what I wanted to show you was the new formatting for the sales page templates. So when you apply a sales page template to your page, you actually get this kind of a mock representation of what the sales page will look like. Now it's the same for every page, so don't email me every time you apply a template and it doesn't look exactly like your page. It's just meant to give you an idea of what it'll look like as far as width goes, and just with a little bit different background color. So as you build your page, you get a good idea of what it's going to look like visually. So the buttons that are built into the 1.5 version, this first button is for creating boxes, and you can create any of these styles of boxes. And so you pick your color and border, and down here you have options for width, your alignment. You can align left, center, or right. You can round the corners. You can add drop shadows. You can control the size of the border and the style of border. So if you wanted to do a heavy double border, you could do that. And the last option is you can apply a gradient image to the background of the box. So I've got this light green box, and let's say on the top I want it to kind of fade from lighter green to darker green. So we're going to insert the box, and here we have the box with the double border. And whenever you insert one, it'll insert some default content. And basically I'm just going to copy and repeatedly paste this so you can see the gradient in the background. So you can see as the box expands, it's lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. And so that's how the box button works. So you can play around with that, create different widths of boxes and different alignment. And you can create a box, and you can go into the box and you can insert another box. So let's say we wanted a smaller box aligned to the right side of the green box, then that goes there. And you notice how it kind of offsets. It doesn't look right. Basically what you need to do is it's because it's floated, and that's a CSS term. And this little box at the end will probably come in pretty handy if you go into here and you use the clear floats option and insert that. You don't see it, but basically what it does is it clears the floats so that the parent container actually contains this box on the inside. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to confuse you too much, but that does demonstrate how you can put a box within a box, and you can even do it within the paragraph itself. So let's say you want another small box, and we're going to align that to the left side, and there you go. Now you can add your content to this box and the text wraps around it, and that's all because of the float. And when you assign a left or right alignment, it's floating this object left or right. And so don't forget to clear your floats if you have alignment issues. Okay, the next button is the buy buttons. and when you click on that, it gives you a bunch of buttons that you can choose from. And you may notice that it does not include the old buttons. The old buttons that have the flashing effect, those are totally different and separate, and you can still use the shortcodes to generate those buttons. But these are just static buttons that you can use, and there's a lot of different text on them. Click to purchase, request a quote, sign up for free, in all these different color schemes and designs. So basically what you do is you choose the button that you want to use, and then you enter the address that you want it to go to. And then you have the option of either opening in the same window or a new window, and then you insert the button, and there it is in your site. So I'm going to preview this page. Oops, we need to publish it first. Apply my template again. We'll just go with 15 and save draft. Preview again. There it is. Okay, now this page has the template applied, and you can see the box that we generated as well as the button that we put in there, and you can see that it's clickable and it goes to Google in a new window. And I know you can't see the new tab that it opened, but it did open a tab. Now the next, let's just delete all this and go on to the next one. Make sure we got everything out of the code. Okay, the next item is the list styles. So before you used a shortcode to generate the list, now you can just choose them here. And there is a new one, the blue question mark. That was a user request, so I added those. And basically all you do is you check the one that you want to use, and you insert the list style, and then you can go back and change this to whatever you want. And the next button is a bunch of different font and type styles. And this will be pretty handy for just inserting pre-formatted text. You don't have to mess with the editor buttons to change the format. And it kind of goes from titles down to smaller titles, and some of these are centered, some have borders. This would be a good disclaimer. This would be maybe for quotes or some text that you want to set off within your content. So basically all you do is you choose it, you insert it, and then you go back and you change it. And the next one is some arrows. And you might recognize some of these from the shortcodes. There are some new ones. The press play is a new one. So if you have videos, you can insert this and then drop your video in right below it, and it'll draw attention to the video. Oops. And some of these other arrows, the wrap arrows, and if you notice this little disclaimer here, it's only usable on sales pages with a page width of 840 pixels. So if you're using say template number 14, which you can assign a custom width to, if you change the width from 840, then these little wrap arrows, they'll be kind of out of alignment. But we can insert this and preview it, see what it looks like. And there's our wrap arrows. And by default it inserts a button and some text that you can just go in and customize however you want. The button, you can just click that, you can delete the image, and then you can come back and insert a different one. And that's how easy that is. So you can just click, everything is visual, and it's very simple to customize your page. The next button is a lot of different badges, risk-free badges, satisfaction guaranteed, money back guarantee, some different things like that. So on these, you choose the one that you want, and then you have a couple options down here. You can align it left, center, or right. And this is the same as the boxes. If you are aligning it left or right, text will wrap around it, but you may need to add one of the the clear elements to clear your floats. So if you have something that has to be positioned underneath the badge, you need to clear the float. And then you can also control the badge size. The images by default are 250 pixels. So if you change that, if you go too much over that, they'll start to get a little bit pixelated and they won't look as nice. But you can always go smaller than that. And you just click the button and it drops it in there. And the next one is some different page dividers. And there's a lot of different styles here. You can do, this is a shadow divider. Oops, let me get some text in here so you can see that first. So let's put a title in. Okay, and then we'll come back and drop a shadow divider in so you can see what it looks like. And there's the shadow, just a faint shadow there. And most of these you can use them basically anywhere on your page. You can use them inside boxes. They do scale to the width of the parent container. There's some paint looking swooshes and different things that you can use. The next button is for bonus boxes and headers, and the bonus boxes are now available in these buttons where you can choose them, where before it was copy and paste code. And the banners are new. Basically you just choose which one you want and insert it on your page. Now the banners, again, like the arrow wrap graphics, are set to work with the 840 pixel width of the sales page templates. So if you change the width of your template, the banners are either going to need modification, otherwise they're going to look a little strange. But again, the banners support up to 3 lines of text, and you can just highlight and change whatever you want, and click and preview, and the arrow just draws attention to whatever content follows. The next button is for columns, so you can now insert content columns anywhere in your pages or posts, simply by choosing which one you want and inserting them. And then you can just go in and change the heading and the text to whatever you want it to be. And we'll preview that. And there's the 3 columns. And at the bottom of the columns, there's 3 different ones. One is a pros and cons list, and you might find this useful when comparing products, or giving users a reason why to buy and comparing against the other products out there. The next one is a pricing table, and again, this was available previously through copy and paste code, but now you can just drop it on your page visually, and then you can go in and edit it as needed. And the last one in the columns is the comparison grid table, which again used to be copy paste. Now you can insert a complete comparison table and then edit visually. And the next button is, it's a mock ratings table is what I call it. I've had requests for some type of rating system, and there's plugins that allow you to do an actual ratings that your site visitors can rate products and do reviews. But these are more for if you have products that you want to display and you want to say compare 5 different products, give your own star rating, give links to the affiliate sites for each product. You can do that. So basically you just choose the one you want, and you can choose 3 different button styles. The first one is a gold more info. You can do a green buy now or a blue visit site. So you just choose the one that you want and then enter the number of table rows that you want to use, and click the insert table, and there's the mock ratings table. Now these stars, they default to 5 stars, but you can change these simply by clicking on the image, and then basically what you do is go to the advanced settings and then go to the end here, and instead of 5 stars you can choose 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So I'm going to go to 3 stars, click update, and now we have a 3-star image. And again, you can do the same thing. Let's say you have a really bad product and you want to give it 1 star. Then you update and you only have 1 star. And again, you can just click and delete these example logos, drop your own product images or whatever you want to put in the left side. And you can just highlight and copy or change the text visually. And when you preview, there is your ratings table. So it just gives you a way to compare products without having a full-fledged rating system on your site. And the next button is for testimonials, quotes, guarantees. These were all but a few of them were available as shortcodes previously, but now they're all available within the visual editor. So you just click, you insert, and then you just change your text. The next button is for inserting an opt-in form, and I'll do a separate tutorial on exactly how to use this, but basically what this does is it allows you to very quickly insert an opt-in form and customize it for your autoresponder. And it's set up by default to work with Aweber. You paste your hidden form field values in the second blank, and then you customize if you want first name, last name, both names. You can add a custom field. Maybe you want a phone number. It defaults to have their email. And then you control the form field width. So let's say we want 300 pixel wide form fields. You can do them vertically or horizontally. So horizontally will display the form fields side by side rather than stacked vertically. You can choose the color of the background, the border, and the text color for the fields. You can control the submit button color and the hover color, the text on the button, the text color and hover color, and also have different styles of buttons that you can choose from. You can use a custom image if you so choose. You can enter your privacy text, and then any additional code that your autoresponder might require, you can enter in the last box. So once you set all those and click the insert button, it inserts your form on your page, and we do a preview, and there's the autoresponder, and it does have the JavaScript enabled so that the form fields vacate when you click inside them. And there's the hover effect on the button, and if we click that, it'll go to Aweber, but it'll give you an error because the form is not set up properly and we didn't enter any values. So that is the opt-in form button, and this next button is for custom pages. And basically what I built was a set of pages complete with content. So you can use these to get started. Just to give you an example of some different sales page formats. Some of them are video, some of them are more lead capture or traditional squeeze page versus a sales page. So you can just choose whichever one you want and insert the content. And when you preview your page, there it is, the full page. So now all you need to do is this next button is for generating complete pages, and basically what I've created are some complete sample sales pages and more video squeeze pages and different things that you can choose from, and it'll drop all of the content on your page, and basically it just gives you an outline to go by when creating your sales page, and everything is visual, so you can edit directly within the visual editor. So basically you just choose the one that you want and insert the content, and we'll preview the page, and there is one sample page and everything's in place for you. Now you may notice how comments have been showing on all of these pages. There's a new option in 1.5 that allows you to turn off the comments on all pages, but leave it on posts. So before, you could turn it off. You could turn off comments, but it would be site-wide. And I added that option late in the development of 1.5, so you could just turn off comments on pages only. So if I turn that off, then obviously the comments would not be shown on these sales pages. But some people like comments on sales pages, so that's why they were implemented in 1.4. And that's how the custom pages button works. And again, the clear space button, basically you can clear your floats, and it has 4 different spacer elements. So if you have, let's just go in here, and create, actually, let's just throw a complete page in. And let's say between these 2 paragraphs you wanted a little more space. You could click this and enter 50 pixels, insert element. There it is, right there. It just added 50 pixels between these 2 paragraphs. So that is what the clear and space does. And again, the clear, if you are aligning a box or a badge left or right, and you need the next content to fall under it as opposed to wrapping around it, then you would insert a clear floats element, and then anything below that would snap back to the left margin. And that's everything. That's the new buttons in the visual editor, and I'm real excited to have those in here because it makes it a lot easier to create your pages. And again, don't think they're only used on sales pages, because you can use any of these elements, with the exception of the wrap arrows and the banners, on any page, post, whatever you're creating. They can be used anywhere you're using the visual editor. And so that is it for the visual editor. Hope you enjoyed it.